Hello ANML communities. Today we are going to see one quiz on local search algorithm. Go to gopi.chandrakesan.com, go to quizzes, menu artificial intelligence quizzes, and then select local search algorithms quiz. So when you select this, you will land on to this page. This quiz contains multiple choice, drag the words, true or false. Sometimes you can see even choose the best answer as well. Because it is a randomly selected quiz, it contains I think 12 to 15 quizzes, but it will always generate 10 quizzes per session. Let's attend the quiz. Local search algorithms quiz. 5 phases of genetic algorithm. So if you already see my another video, I just explained about what are the different types of local search algorithms. On that, one of the thing is actually a genetic algorithm. We have a simulated annealing algorithm, and then we have a local beam search algorithm, and then the fourth one is simulated annealing algorithm as well. So what are the 5 phases of genetic algorithms? Crossover, and then we have fitness function that is required, and then mutation, selection, and initial population. There is no deselection and full population in that. Let's check. Yeah, that's correct. Let's go to the next one. Drag the words into the correct boxes. The local beam search algorithm begins with randomly generated states and keeps track of them to find out the best until it achieves a goal. Because it has a local beam search, always it's randomly generate the states and keep track them until it find the best to achieve its goals. Actually, that is what the local beam search algorithm. Let's check. Yeah, that's correct. So what are the advantages of local search algorithm? The local search algorithm is actually it uses a very less memory in the constant amount of time, and then the other one is it provides a reasonable solution because it moves on the constant amount of time, and then it uses a less memory and it can find a reasonable solution. Let's check. Yeah, so this is a use less memory of contact map, find a reasonable solution in large state spaces or infinite state spaces as well. Actually this one looks like wrong, so I will correct that. The next one is local search algorithms use less memory in a constant amount of time. In a previous one also we saw that it's correct, it's true. We've selected the same one. Check. Yes, local search algorithm uses less memory in a constant amount of time. Drag the words into the correct boxes. In that, the blank selects two parents based on their blank and blank those parents to produce offspring and randomly blank each blank. This is actually belongs to a genetic algorithm. So genetic algorithm selected two parents based on their fitness, because it select the fitness, which one is the best fitness, and then it cross over those parents to produce offspring and randomly mutates. Okay, because it's actually, if you have 8 digit or 10 digit, it mutate. Like if it is a 4 on the fourth digit, fourth letter, then it's actually convert to a 5 or 6. You can randomly mutate that number, and then each offspring. Let's check. Yeah, that's correct. So the algorithm terminates when it reaches a peak where no neighbor has a higher value. Choose the correct algorithm. So which algorithm they are talking about? So the algorithm terminates when reaches a high, reaches a peak where no neighbor has a higher value. So it is actually belongs, because genetic algorithm is actually a different, local beam search is different. The simulated annealing is like it comes from the metallurgy, we can see that. And then hill climbing is actually it goes to the reaches a peak where no neighbor has a higher value. The description, the name itself, it says that. So yeah, you can see that this one is correct. So if you want to know what is a genetic algorithm, the genetic algorithm selects, already we saw in the previous quiz also, two parents based on the fitness, cross over those parents to produce offspring and randomly mutates each offspring. If you look at it, a local beam search algorithm begins with a randomly generated states and keep track of them to find out the best until it achieves a goal. So that is a local beam search algorithm. Hill climbing search, the terminates when it reaches a peak where no neighbor has a higher value. The simulated annealing is a concept of the metallurgy one, because you cool down and then you heat it and cool down concept is this. So annealing, simulated annealing is a probabilistic and optimization technique. It helps to find out a global optimum for a given function. So those are the different types of algorithms on the local search, but this one belongs to hill climbing search. Let's go to the next one. Simulated annealing is a probabilistic and an optimization technique, and it helps to find out the global optimum for a given solution, given function. In a last quiz also we can see that it's the same, so it's a true because it's a metallurgy. We do a heat and cold concept. Check. Yeah, that's correct. Let's go to the next one. The objective of a global maximum is to find out the highest peak in local space. So if I give an example, so if you have like this, okay, so the objective of global maximum is to find out the highest peak. So if I want to find out the global maximum on the highest peak, this is the highest peak, but it's not local space. The local space is actually, if I calculate this is the highest peak, but if I calculate all the three, it means that it's a global space. So it says it's actually wrong, so we need to select as a false. Check. Yeah, the objective of a global maximum is to find out the highest peak in a global space, but this is not objective of global maximum, because if you say the objective of local maximums to find out the highest peak in local space, then it is a true, but the objective of global maximum is find out the highest peak in global space is a correct one, but in this case it's false, because local space is only local maximum. And if you say that, next one, local search algorithms use multiple paths and move only to neighbors of that path. Actually, local search algorithm use a single node, okay, and move only to the neighbors of the path, okay. So it's actually a false, because it doesn't use multiple paths. It's a single node or single path, because it uses an efficient amount of constant time and uses a less memory because of that. If you use a multiple paths, you need a more memory and more time. Yeah, that's correct. And then drag the words into the correct boxes. This one is actually an optimal algorithm always finds a global maximum or minimum. Yeah, so any optimal algorithm, if you look at it, right, so we need to find out the global maximum or a minimum, right? Otherwise, what happens if you don't have an optimal algorithm, sometimes you end up on local maximum and local minimum, or sometimes it'll be mixed up. So let's check. Yeah, we got the 25 out of 5. There are two buttons here. Either if you have selected anything incorrectly and then you got a less marks, you can retry with this button. Otherwise, you can find the solution to check what are the things you correctly selected and incorrectly selected. If you have incorrectly selected, then it will show us a red marks. If you selected everything is good, it will show us a green. So let's check each and every one. Everything is we selected correct. Yeah, that's right. Let's check. Yeah, looks good. Thank you for watching my video. If you like my video, please subscribe to my YouTube channel so that I can post more videos on the future. Thank you.